Hello and welcome back to another edition of MHS Mini Views. I'm your host Nick Sartell, and right now I have next to me is Mr. Dan Riley. How are you doing today, Dan?
Good, Nick. Thank you for having me. I always wanted to be on the show.
Well, thank you.
Big fan of the show.
So, I'm just going to jump right into the topic. First things first, we have a couple new trends going about in this high school about social media and stuff. What exactly is this new trend?
So, particularly a couple of different social media sites, one in particular called TikTok, has been kind of promoting these acts of, the Penny Challenge, the Skull Crusher Challenge, and there have been others in the past. And so that's kind of what's going on trend-wise, is it's a social media trend, and it's being advertised as these kind of hilarious acts that you can do with your friends. And I think that what gets captured doesn't always portray the downside of the acts. So that's kind of what's happening.
Okay. Why do you exactly think students are doing this?
Well, I think that students are doing it, honestly, with the best of intentions. I think that it comes across, quite frankly, as funny. And I think many of us who have experience with social media and how broadly that gets advertised, we all have seen things on social media that when you watch it, you start laughing because it looks funny. Part of the problem, though, with these particular challenges is the downside, like the 1% chance that something not so funny happens. And so that's really what's caught our attention, and we try to be proactive here to try and avoid any of our students ever being in a situation where they unintentionally do harm to the school or to each other because they're trying to kind of follow what was portrayed in this social media act of being funny.
So you mentioned that 1% chance. What exactly is so dangerous about that 1% chance?
That's exactly the whole point is. So with the Penny Challenge in a couple schools around the country, what ends up happening is when the penny connects with the prongs that are plugged into an outlet, copper, because it's a conductor, heats up very quickly. And it's caused fires, it's caused destruction of property, it's caused major power outage problems within schools. So that's obviously a very serious problem. And with the other things that have been portrayed on TikTok, like, for example, the Skull Crusher Challenge, which is sort of like the new trend, and really just kind of trying to set someone up harmlessly to then make them fall on the floor. That 1% downside of that type of behavior is I watched an interview with a young girl who had multiple fractures in her neck from being tripped out from behind by her friends. And, of course, her friends didn't think that she was going to break her neck, but she did, and then it became a much bigger issue. And so I think sometimes when we see these things on social media and we think that we're just participating in these harmless acts that are funny, we never want to end up on the 1% side of what's not funny, is someone getting hurt or destruction of our school as well.
So this has been another edition of MHS Mini Views. Thank you again, Dan Riley,
Thanks,
for
Nick.
joining us today.
Yeah.
This is your host, Nick Sartell. We are going to be signing off.